You have to know yourself to grow yourself. There's a story behind that. This is your daily message from Chad number 1083 to upgrade your mental game today by telling yourself a better story. Because the most important story you hear is the story you tell yourself. This message is dedicated to Don Leachy and Jim Natter. Here's the upgrade. You may think growth comes from working harder, but upgraded thinking knows that growth starts with seeing yourself clearly. Here's the story. Socrates had a friend named Chiracrates. He and his brother had fallen into a bitter dispute over an inheritance. They weren't even talking anymore. Chiracrates came to Socrates for counsel. Socrates asked him a question. Are other people in the family as angry with your brother as you are? Chiracrates thought about it. No, they weren't. Why not? Socrates pressed. What's different between you and them? That's the moment of awareness. Chiracrates realized his anger wasn't about his brother. It was about his interpretation of his brother's behavior. The brother wasn't making other people angry. Chiracrates' story about the brother was. Once he saw that clearly, everything shifted. This story is a classic example of Socratic questioning, providing the answer the brother wasn't even aware of. John Maxwell calls this the law of awareness in the 15 invaluable laws of growth. You must know yourself to grow yourself. Self-awareness is the starting point for change. You can't change what you don't see. The moment you see clearly, really see, the path forward becomes obvious. Not easy, but obvious. Socrates didn't just tell Chiracrates he had a story problem. He asked questions that made Chiracrates see it himself. That's the coach. That's the mirror. Self-awareness without a witness, without someone asking the hard question, stays hidden. Chiracrates stopped running from what he observed and got curious instead. Then Socrates moved him toward action. What are you going to do about this? You need to treat your brother the way you want to be treated in return. That's self-awareness in motion. First the seeing, then the curiosity, then the action. That is what upgraded thinking by telling yourself a better story is all about. These daily stories of others can be a mirror to reflect your own story or stories back to you. Without self-awareness, it's like driving a car in thick fog. You'll go a lot faster and farther when the fog is cleared. The better story to tell yourself is, I'm not stuck, I'm just not seeing yet. Self-awareness is the foundation. Not enough on its own, but non-negotiable. The magic happens when you stop running from what you observe and get curious instead. What's this pattern? Where did it come from? What's it costing me? The moment you ask those questions with real honesty, change is already underway. And if you can find someone, a coach, a friend, a mentor, who will ask you the right questions and reflect back what you're not seeing, that's when the growth accelerates. That's when awareness becomes action. Tell me a story of a moment when you saw yourself more clearly to fromchadsmith@gmail.com. Send someone a text and ask them, what do you see in me that I'm not seeing in myself? You can get a free copy of my book, The Most Powerful Story in the World, by going to fromchad.gumroad.com. The transcript of this message and hundreds of others are always available at www.fromchad.com.